Hey everyone and welcome. Now you think it's bad here with hiding of the facts and the truth when it comes to certain groups' involvement in CE and rooming? Well, this is in Wales. This is the Welsh Parliament.
The core is rotten, and I can behold the tide.
And this is a Tory trying to make a case that should be made, I will give him that, for things that their party did as well. So when it comes to throwing the stick of blame, it hits every single one of them in this room as far as I'm concerned. So ignore that, but what it says is actually true, and their response is absolutely disgusting.
We know from media reports that young girls have been recruited by grooming gangs here in South Wales before being gang raped and then trafficked to Telford, Hereford and Blackpool. One victim has even said that she was strangled, she was threatened with a knife, and her home was threatened with being burnt down. She was then raped, I'm afraid to say, First Minister, 1,000 times. She didn't know the number of perpetrators because there were so many.
I do need you to come to your question now. You are being overly descriptive, and I think that...
Overly descriptive. Did you hear that, everyone? That's basically saying we don't want to hear the facts of what you're saying. They don't fit our narrative, and I don't like them. So therefore, you should stop saying them.
Urging on not being totally respectful of the victim at this point. So can you tone...
Where do you think he got this information from, everyone? Where do you think he got the specifics from? Damn sure it'll be from the victim, but this woman doesn't want to know about the victim, doesn't want to know about her plight.
Down the rhetorics slightly.
I'm afraid I'm simply reading facts.
No, you're not.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. But you don't like them, so they're not facts.
No, you're not. The use of language in this place needs to be making sure that you are keeping well away from inflaming any kind of discrimination or inciting of any kind of discrimination.
What about the discrimination of the young girl in question? You want to completely wash over it. Is that not discrimination? Is that not victim blaming? Is that not ignoring facts? If you want proof that these people are quite happy sacrificing every single working class female in the country to keep their positions, this has got to be the proof, hasn't it? This has got to be the proof.
You were doing very well, Darren Miller, with your first two questions in avoiding that. In your third one, you've become overly descriptive and...
Facts aren't overly descriptive, my love. Facts are facts. You think they're overly descriptive because you don't want to hear the truth. Am I wrong, everyone?
I need you to now reflect on that and just ask the question again, please.
I am not seeking to inflame anything.
Good. I'm glad you confirmed that.
Listen to them all as well. Just listen to them all catcalling and trying to talk over him and trying to stop him speaking. This is the problem, isn't it? These people are running our nations. Wales, you should be extremely worried because they're quite happy at throwing all of your children under the bus.
I'm glad you confirmed that. Now carry on with your question.
Yes. So we know that some of the things which have been described by victims have been absolutely sickening. We know that those things have taken place, young girls in Wales have taken place in terms of recruitment by grooming gangs in Wales.
Darren Miller, I ask you for your question.
So we need to know that these things, we don't have another Rotherham or Rochdale on our doorstep.
Darren
so can
Miller,
I ask
you're keeping to your script now, and you're not listening to my advice. If you do not ask your question in the next 10 seconds, I'm going to ask you to sit down. I did not expect to have to do this to you in your first few weeks as leader of the Welsh Conservative Party in here.
My question is this. Given that you oppose a UK-wide inquiry, given that we haven't had the assurances which I've sought from you today, and given the extent of public concern, will you now commission a Wales-wide inquiry into child sexual exploitation by grooming gangs here in Wales?
Darren, I've got to say I'm really disappointed in you. I wasn't expecting you to take on that kind of approach.
In other words, how dare you bring this up? This should just be washed under the carpet by every single one of us. Now, obviously, everyone's going to say, but this is the Tories. They've been doing exactly the same thing. They've been hiding it for decades as well. So both are just as complicit, just as guilty, in my opinion, than the ones doing the heinous acts. So it's a bit rich, isn't it, them throwing stones at each other in a glass house? But it does reveal, doesn't it? It also reveals that they are still desperate to make sure it continues forever and we continue to be silenced for talking about it. Absolutely disgusting. We need every single one of these criminals, in my opinion, out of our leadership positions. Let me know what you think, though. I'd like to know your opinion. Stay sane. I'll see you on the next one.